While the world often gets lost in the golden glow of Egypt's pharaohs, there was another colossal empire that thrived right alongside them on the mighty Nile. We're talking about a kingdom of black pharaohs, a civilization that actually built more pyramids than the Egyptians themselves, and one that even held the throne of Egypt for a time. This isn't just another ancient story. This is the tale of a lost superpower you've probably never heard of, the Kingdom of Kush. So, why did this incredible civilization get buried by the sands of time? And what amazing secrets are we unearthing about its rediscovery today? Get ready to have your mind blown. Let's set the scene, shall we? Picture the majestic Nile, but instead of focusing on the familiar northern delta, let your imagination flow southward. Just above the first cataract, the landscape dramatically tightens, giving way to shimmering golden deserts and dramatic ridges of black granite. This is where, long before the word Sudan even existed, the powerful Kingdom of Kush began to sprout. In its earliest days, Kush was a fascinating patchwork of farming villages, all clustering around a central hub, Kerma. Now, Kerma wasn't just any village. It was a mud brick city with palaces so grand, so imposing, that when early archaeologists first stumbled upon them, they mistakenly assumed these magnificent structures had to be Egyptian. But oh, were they wrong. By 1700 BCE, the kings of Kerma were already master traders, forging direct connections with powerful Nubian chiefs and sending precious ebony, exotic ivory, and gleaming gold northward. Egypt, while immensely wealthy, couldn't help but feel a little nervous about this burgeoning power to its south. They even had a name for the region, Ta-Seti, which translates to land of the bow. Why the bow? Because Kushite archers were legendary. They were so incredibly skilled, they could split an arrow at 50 paces, a feat of marksmanship that would make even the most seasoned modern archer gasp. Naturally, Egypt's pharaohs, ever cautious, built a series of formidable forts to keep these formidable archers out. But the Kushites? They were patient. They absorbed. They adapted. They learned Egyptian. They began worshipping the powerful god Amun, and they waited for their moment. And that moment came. When Egypt's glorious new kingdom started to crumble around 1069 BCE, fracturing under internal strife and external pressures, Kush didn't hesitate. It stepped confidently into that power vacuum. The capital shifted south to Napata, a strategically vital location, and from there, the Kushites minted a kingdom, a lasting legacy that would remarkably outlast the combined lifespans of Athens, Sparta, and Rome. Think about that for a moment. A civilization that endured longer than three of the most iconic ancient powers put together. It's truly astounding, isn't it? This wasn't just a neighbor. It was a force to be reckoned with, quietly biding its time, preparing to write its own epic chapter in history. Fast forward to 750 BCE, and a truly charismatic warrior king named Piye was on the throne of Kush. He looked north, and what he saw was an Egypt in disarray, splintered into 4 petty kingdoms, a shadow of its former glory. Libyan warlords squabbled over the once magnificent city of Memphis, behaving, as Piye himself famously put it, like boys with a broken toy. Piye saw not weakness, but an opportunity to restore order and reunite the lands of the Nile under a single strong hand. He didn't just send a small raiding party. Piye marched with a formidable army, ranks of his legendary archers, thunderous chariots, and a powerful fleet of ships navigating the Nile. City after city, facing the overwhelming might and reputation of the Kushite forces, chose wisely and opened their gates rather than confront the deadly precision of Kushite arrows. But Memphis, the ancient capital, held out. That's when Piye showcased his strategic brilliance. He staged a daring naval assault, breached the city's harbor defenses, and triumphantly declared himself pharaoh, not just of Kush, but of all Egypt. For nearly a century, Kushite kings wore the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, a powerful symbol of their dominion over both lands. These black pharaohs didn't just rule, they revitalized. They embarked on ambitious building projects, constructing magnificent pyramids at El-Kurru, their royal necropolis. They painstakingly restored ancient temples from the Grand Karnak complex in the north all the way down to Jebel Barkal in their homeland, breathing new life into structures that had fallen into disrepair. In a remarkable act of cultural preservation, they even revived the ancient pyramid texts, sacred writings that had been largely forgotten by the Egyptians themselves. Among these powerful Kushite rulers, Taharqa stands out. He's perhaps the most famous of these black pharaohs, a king whose reach was truly monumental. His empire stretched from the sixth cataract of the Nile in what is now Sudan, all the way to the fertile Nile Delta in the north. This incredible arc of power, spanning thousands of miles, was a testament to Kushite might and influence, an achievement no other African monarch would match until the legendary days of Mansa Musa, nearly 2 millennia later. The Kushites didn't just conquer Egypt, they became its guardians, its restorers, leaving an indelible mark on its history and showing the world what African leadership truly looked like. The good times, as they often do, eventually came to an end. Around 674 BCE, a new terrifying force emerged from the east, the Assyrians. Their war engines, powered by superior iron technology, rumbled menacingly into the Nile Delta, signaling a new era of conflict. Taharqa, true to his warrior spirit, fought with the ferocity of a lion, defending his realm against this relentless foe. However, the sheer might of Assyrian iron weaponry, combined with the logistical challenges of Kushite overstretch across such a vast empire, ultimately proved fatal. The Assyrians, a brutal and efficient military machine, sacked the sacred city of Thebes, a devastating blow to Egyptian and Kushite prestige. They relentlessly pursued Taharqa past the first cataract, pushing the Kushites out of Egypt entirely, and then installed their own puppet rulers to control the fractured land. It was a crushing defeat, a moment that might have shattered a lesser kingdom. But Kush did not shatter. It simply pivoted. With incredible resilience and foresight, the royal court moved its heart and soul southward to a new city, Meroë. This wasn't a retreat into obscurity. It was a strategic relocation. Meroë was a sun-baked city, yes, but it was also strategically positioned, surrounded by abundant iron ore deposits, dense acacia forests, perfect for charcoal to fuel furnaces, and, crucially, a network of vital trade routes that fanned out toward the lucrative Red Sea. Freed from the rigid ancient protocols of Egyptian court life, the Kushites at Meroë began to truly forge their own distinct identity. They invented their very own alphabet, the Meroitic script, a groundbreaking achievement. This wasn't just any script. It was one of the very first African scripts to be written left to right, a unique innovation. They also elected powerful warrior queens, known as CANDACE, who led armies and ruled with authority. And, perhaps most famously, they became masters of metallurgy. They melted iron in bellows-fed furnaces, producing high-quality steel that they shipped far and wide. Roman blacksmiths, renowned for their own metalwork, even swore that Kushite metal never dulled, a testament to its exceptional quality. Kush, though pushed back, was far from broken. It was innovating, adapting, and thriving in its own unique way. Then came Rome. After conquering Egypt in 30 BCE, the ambitious Roman Empire, with its insatiable appetite for expansion, naturally gazed south towards the wealthy lands of Kush. Emperor Augustus, at the height of his power, arrogantly demanded tribute from the Ethiopians, a broad Greek catch-all term they used for all peoples south of Egypt, often without much distinction. But the reply he received wasn't one of submission. It came from a remarkable woman, Queen Amanirenas. Imagine her, one-eyed from battle, a testament to her warrior spirit, yet regal and commanding from head to toe. This was no ordinary monarch. In 24 BCE, Amanirenas, a true CANDACE, led a formidable army of 30,000 warriors north. They didn't just hold their ground, they attacked, They captured the Roman fort at Syene, a crucial strategic point. And in a stunning act of defiance and psychological warfare, she personally lopped off a bronze statue of Emperor Augustus, carrying his head back home as a powerful trophy of her victory. Can you imagine the shock in Rome? Of course, the Roman legions, stung by this unprecedented defeat, counterattacked with their usual ferocity, burning Napata in retaliation. But Amanirenas was no stranger to strategic warfare. She counterattacked, launching relentless raids on Roman garrisons, proving herself a cunning and unyielding adversary. Her persistence and military prowess eventually forced Rome to the negotiating table, a rare occurrence for the mighty empire. The resulting treaty was a monumental triumph for Kush. It fixed the border at Taharqa and, crucially, spared Kush any further taxation or tribute demands. Rome, for all its power, never again dared to demand tribute from the Kingdom of the CANDACE. Here, two superpowers had clashed, and it was Africa's woman general, Queen Amanirenas, who walked away undefeated, securing her kingdom's independence and etching her name into the annals of history as a symbol of unyielding strength and leadership. It's a story that truly flips the script on what we often expect from ancient power dynamics. Kush's economy wasn't just surviving, it was humming like a perfectly strung bow, a vibrant engine of trade and prosperity that fueled its long reign. Along the life-giving banks of the Nile, diligent farmers cultivated staple crops like sorghum, barley, and sweet dates, providing sustenance for the kingdom. Herders, too, played a crucial role, raising magnificent longhorn cattle whose distinctive lyre-shaped horns still dance across ancient Nubian rock art. A beautiful glimpse into their daily lives and cultural significance. But Kush's true economic prowess lay in its control of precious resources and its strategic position at the crossroads of ancient trade. Caravans, laden with treasures, crisscrossed the desert. They carried gleaming gold nuggets from the rich desert mines of Alaki, brought exotic ivory from the depths of Central Africa, and transported massive iron blooms from Meroë's bustling slag heaps, ready for processing. Kushite merchants were seasoned cosmopolitans, meeting their Roman counterparts at bustling ports like Adulis, engaging with sophisticated Greeks at Siena, and connecting with intrepid Indian sailors at various Red Sea entrepôts. The evidence of this extensive trade network is truly global. Coins minted by Kushite kings have been unearthed as far away as Sri Lanka, and luxurious silk from Han China has been discovered in Kushite graves, demonstrating an astonishing reach of influence. This kingdom truly straddled two worlds, the vibrant heart of Africa and the sophisticated Mediterranean basin. Its genius lay in its ability to tax everything that crossed its rivers and its borders, leveraging its geographical advantage to accumulate immense wealth. This economic backbone wasn't just about survival, it was about thriving, innovating, and establishing Kush as a pivotal player in the ancient global economy, connecting disparate cultures and continents through a web of commerce. When you think of pyramids, Giza immediately springs to mind, right? Well, prepare for a surprise. Sudan, the heartland of ancient Kush, actually boasts more pyramids than Egypt. It's a fact that often stuns people. Over 200 of these magnificent structures dot the desert landscape between El-Kurru and Meroë, creating an awe-inspiring vista. Their architectural style is distinct, narrow bases rising at dramatically steeper angles than their Egyptian counterparts, a clear sign of Kushite ingenuity and cultural adaptation rather than mere imitation. Inside these silent sentinels, Kushite kings and queens were laid to rest with immense care and reverence. They reclined on beds of gleaming gold foil, surrounded by an array of precious grave goods, intricate horse trappings, shimmering silver amulets, and beautifully painted pottery, each piece a testament to their artistry and wealth. The tomb builders, in a powerful visual statement, depicted gods with rich ebony skin alongside traditional Egyptian regalia. This wasn't just art, it was a visual reminder that Kush could borrow elements from its powerful northern neighbor without ever surrendering its own unique identity and heritage. Sadly, many of these tombs were plundered by opportunistic looters in antiquity, their treasures scattered and lost to time. Yet, even today, fragments of the mysterious Meroitic script still whisper from offering tables, offering tantalizing glimpses into their beliefs. Phrases like, "May the soul live forever," resonate across millennia, a poignant connection to their spiritual world. And here's a fun fact for you. Every new excavation, every fresh discovery, seems to tweak the pyramid count. Archaeologists working in Sudan often joke that the sands of their desert hide more stone triangles than a geometry textbook, constantly challenging and expanding our understanding of this monumental civilization. It's a living, breathing archaeological puzzle, waiting to be fully solved. One of the most tantalizing and enduring mysteries of the Kingdom of Kush is its unique written language, Meroitic. It actually comes in two distinct forms: a flowing cursive script used primarily for ink on papyrus or ostrasa, and a more formal hieroglyphic version reserved for grand monuments and royal inscriptions. Both forms record a language that is utterly fascinating because it's completely unrelated to Egyptian, Arabic, or even modern Swahili. It stands alone, a linguistic island. Scholars with immense dedication managed to crack the phonetics of Meroitic way back in the 1800s. We know how to pronounce many of the letters and sounds. But here's the catch, the frustrating part for linguists. The vocabulary remains stubbornly half-lit. Imagine trying to read a gripping novel, but you only understand every third word. That's essentially the state of modern Meroitic studies. We can read royal names like Amanirenas, Amanishaketo, and Nataka Mani, and they jump off the ancient stones with majestic clarity. But when it comes to everyday phrases, the nuances of their daily lives, their jokes, their laws, those blur into an enigmatic fog. The biggest hurdle? The lack of bilingual texts. Unlike Egyptian hieroglyphs, which were famously deciphered thanks to the Rosetta Stone, which provided the same text in Greek and two forms of Egyptian, we haven't yet found a Meroitic equivalent. Without a text that presents the same content in Meroitic and a known language, full translation remains tantalizingly out of reach, a linguistic Everest yet to be fully conquered. This means that every fresh ostrakhan, every tiny scrap of papyrus, every newly discovered inscription holds immense potential. Any one of them could be the key, the Rosetta Stone of Meroitic, that could rewrite everything we think we know about Kushite religion, their complex tax systems, or even their sense of humor. Until that day, the Kingdom of Kush, in a final act of ancient defiance, keeps its most profound secret locked away in its beautiful, unyielding script. It's a challenge, an invitation, and a testament to the enduring power of history's enigmas. Alas, nothing, no matter how powerful or grand, lasts forever. By 250 CE, the mighty Kingdom of Kush began to face an array of challenges that would ultimately lead to its decline. The climate, ever a silent architect of history, began to shift. The dependable Nile, the very lifeblood of their civilization, experienced lower flood levels, meaning less fertile silt and thinner harvests. This environmental stress meant less food for a growing population, putting immense pressure on the kingdom's resources. Simultaneously, desert nomads, pushed by their own changing environments, began to press harder on Kush's borders, leading to increased skirmishes and instability. Internally, the palace walls, once a symbol of unity, started to crack. Rival nobles, each vying for power and influence, backed different heirs, further splitting the realm and weakening the central authority. This internal fracturing, combined with external pressures, created a perfect storm. Then, from the highlands of what is now Ethiopia, a new power emerged, the ambitious kingdom of Aksum. They smelled weakness, and they acted decisively. In 330 CE, Aksumite ships sailed purposefully up the Adbara River. Their infantry marched on the heart of Meroë, and the once proud city, the vibrant capital of a 1,000-year empire, burned for weeks. It was a devastating blow, marking the end of centralized Kushite rule. But even in its fall, Kush's legacy endured. The kingdom didn't vanish entirely. It splintered into three smaller, distinct Nubian kingdoms: Nubia, Makuria, and Alodia. These successor states would later embrace Christianity, carrying the torch of Nubian culture and influence for another 1,000 years, a testament to the deep roots Kush had laid. The last Kushite monarch, likely a king named Yesebokaman, faded into legend, his name whispered by the winds. And, as the centuries passed, sand crept silently over the once bustling streets where iron had clanged, where hymns had risen to Amun, slowly reclaiming the grandeur of a forgotten age. For centuries after its fall, the magnificent Kingdom of Kush became little more than a whisper in the desert winds. Arab travelers in the Middle Ages would speak of the pyramids of the Jinn, associating these mysterious structures with spirits and folklore. But few among them connected these ancient monuments to a forgotten, once powerful empire. Then came the Victorian treasure hunters, driven by greed and a misguided sense of adventure. With little regard for history or preservation, they notoriously dynamited Meroë's tombs, hoping to unearth gold. What they found instead was a puzzle, a history they were ill-equipped to understand. Thankfully, the tide has turned dramatically. Today, a new generation of dedicated researchers is bringing Kush back to life. Modern Sudanese archaeologists work hand-in-hand with French epigraphers, American teams, and experts from around the globe, employing cutting-edge technology to map the kingdom with unprecedented detail. Ground-penetrating radar peers beneath the desert surface, drone photography captures vast archaeological landscapes from above, and chemical analysis of ancient slag piles reveals the secrets of their sophisticated iron production. The discoveries are constant and often breathtaking. Just in 2019, for example, researchers uncovered a previously unknown Meroitic temple beneath a humble soccer field in the bustling suburbs of Khartoum. It's a powerful reminder that history is literally beneath our feet, waiting to be found. Every single season of excavation rewrites the timeline, pushing Kushite achievements earlier or revealing entirely new trade routes and cultural connections. The lost superpower, once consigned to the dustbin of history, is no longer lost. It's being meticulously downloaded, piece by piece, from the ancient sand, revealing its grandeur and complexity for the world to see. So, why should we care about a kingdom that fell over 1,600 years ago? Why does Kush truly matter today? Because it forces us, quite powerfully, to redraw our mental map of the ancient world. It shatters the outdated notion that Africa was a passive continent, simply waiting for outsiders to bring civilization. No, Kush demonstrates, unequivocally, that ancient Africa was a vibrant, innovative powerhouse. It built pyramids, yes, but it also developed its own sophisticated scripts, mastered metallurgy, and negotiated with the mighty Roman Empire on equal terms. Consider this. The kingdom's female rulers, the formidable CANDACE, predated European queens by centuries, showcasing a remarkable tradition of powerful female leadership. Its extensive iron exports fueled economies from the bustling markets of Alexandria all the way to distant India, highlighting its critical role in global commerce. When our history textbooks often leap from the wonders of ancient Egypt straight to the philosophical brilliance of Greece, they inadvertently erase a 1,000-year bridge, a crucial cultural and economic link that fused African and Mediterranean genius. Remembering Kush isn't just about adding another chapter to history, it's about restoring balance, correcting a long-standing oversight. It reminds us, with undeniable clarity, that history's chorus has always been global, multi-voiced, and far louder and more complex than any single empire or dominant narrative wants to admit. Kush proves that African history is world history, rich with innovation, power, and enduring legacy, demanding its rightful place in our collective consciousness. Next time someone suggests that Africa had no empires, no grand civilizations, you now have a story to tell. Tell them about the Black Pharaohs of Kush, who wore the double crown of Egypt and their own land, who built more pyramids than the Egyptians themselves, and who bravely stared down the might of Rome and kept their independence. Tell them about the Kingdom of Kush, the truly hidden superpower of the Nile. Yes, history buried its cities deep beneath the sands, but it absolutely cannot bury its profound impact. The sands are shifting, the secrets are being unearthed, and the incredible story of Kush is rising, louder and clearer than ever before. If this lost kingdom completely blew your mind and made you rethink ancient history, then you know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe for more incredible stories the textbooks definitely skipped, and let us know in the comments. Which other forgotten empire should we uncover next? Share this video with a friend who still thinks ancient Africa stopped at the pyramids of Giza.